Okay, so these are the tips that you get along. These are the 5 tips that we are right now giving for free along with the Sonic Prep, and these 3 tips are optional, which you can buy separately. So let's look at the free tips that you get. You can see that we have 5 tips. Out of these, 3 are scaling tips and 2 are prep tips. These tips are like any other scaler, but the advantage of a sonic scaler when you go subgingivally is that it will not create a lot of damage, plus less heat generation because you have a water supply that comes. Also, since the air supply is less, you will not be worried about having a subgingival emphysema. Now let's understand these 2 tips because these are the prep tips that you will use. Now these tips, as you can see, have diamonds on only one side and the other side is flat. So the other side will not cause any damage to the adjacent tooth when I am working. Now if I happen to pick this tip, as you can see, this tip is meant to be prepped distally. So when I'm doing a distal preparation, I can use this tip and I'm sure this will not damage the adjacent tooth. Also, you can sometimes rest on the adjacent tooth when you are doing the prep. Now the other tip, as you can see, it's a pair. The other will automatically be a mesial tip now. This I will have to use mesially to do my mesial preparation and I can rest it against the adjacent tooth. So these are the pair of tips that you are getting along with the scaling tips. Now let's move to the optional tips. In the optional tips, we have 2 shoulder tips. That means you can use this to finish your margins. One tip is about 0.8 millimeters, that's for your veneer surfaces, and the other tip is about 1.2. So these are for your general shoulder margins that you can use. So these 2 tips are that you get for your preps, like a full crown preps. So also we have this special tip. Now this tip is what you will be using when you are cementing your inlays and onlays. As you can see, this tip has a silicone tip on top and this is an interchangeable tip. So you can change the top of this tip. This can be screwed out and you will be able to change to a new one in case this gets spoiled. Now this tip will allow you to cement your inlay and an onlay. Say you have an inlay here, you place the tip on the top, you provide sonic energy, and with that energy the inlay gets seated completely. Just make sure that when you are using this tip, please switch off the water. You do not want any water contamination when you are cementing the inlay or cementing the onlay or the overlay. So this is a very special tip that we've got made, and this is specially for your inlay onlay cementation. You can also use it for a regular crown cementation in case you feel the crown is not fitting in completely and you have some hindrances. So even for your crown cementation, this tip can be used. Okay, so let's understand this tip. Now this tip is basically intended to be used on the distal. So I would use this and finish my distal surface. Sorry, it's a mesial tip. Okay. On the mesial, allows me to finish the mesial because on this side there are no diamonds on this tip, whereas on one side you have diamonds.